Hey, good people, it's your man Shannyn Casino. Thank you guys for clicking in, tapping in, back into Fifth Charge. Yeah, getting in my groove, getting back into the swing of things. I hope you guys have been doing good since the last time that we checked in with each other. Since I've been right here in front of you guys, I hope that you had a good week. Hope that things are working out in your favor. I think it's important for me to say that. I think it's important to say things like that in a time such as this. A lot of crazy things going on in the world. So I say that I hope that things are working out in your favor. You woke up this morning, God blessed you, and there's a lot of people who had plans for today, and they just didn't wake up this morning. So God bless those people. But today, I want to say God bless you, that you made it. You made it another week, you made it another day, you made it another hour. Keep holding on, keep pushing, keep fighting. Yeah, I'm glad that things are working out for you. That's my thing. I want to be in expectation in this season that things are going to work out in my favor. And that's where you should be. It's no more hoping that things are going to work out or things are going to go the way that you would like for them to go. We are in expectation. You done been through enough, don't you think? I think that you've been through enough. I've been through enough. We've been through enough as a team, as a squad, Team C notes. Yeah, it's in this season we're expecting. We're expecting. I'm expecting. You should be expecting. Hey, you guys, listen, if you have not already, make sure you go ahead and you click subscribe right here on YouTube to the Fifth Charge, where I will be giving you a new episode every week. I would like to do it more often, but every week so far, I will be. My task, my job, my push is to present you with another episode of Impact and Power, conversation pieces, some of the things that I have been going through, some of the things that I've been delivered from in the week or in my journey of life. And I'm going to be coming back again next week, even after this one. I speak it into existence, right? Because this is our expectation season. And I expect you, yes, you, Team C Notes, I expect you to click subscribe. And if anything you've heard on this episode as we go along, you feel like it's a conversation piece, if you feel like it's speaking to you, and you think that it will speak to somebody else that might need to hear, then why don't you go ahead and you take this clip and you share it to the one or ones that might need to hear what was said. Can you do that for me? So I'm not against paying tithes and offerings in church. I believe that it is necessary. I do believe that it is necessary. As a Christian, I believe that it is necessary. Um, and if you are a tithe paying Christian, good for you. God bless you, and may you receive and expect an expectation of what you're expecting from God, that you receive that thing. I pray that you get whatever it is that you need out of it. Increase the return of God's favor and grace in whatever area you apply that for your life, for your journey with God. I say that to say that what I seen, as you all know, or you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Marvin Sapp, which is I believe, I believe, is a true man of God. I do believe that he is anointed to preach. I do believe that he is anointed to definitely sing. You know, how many of his gospel songs have went viral and have done the things that it's done on the charts in the gospel music industry. Um, definitely a man of God. And here's why I'll say I'm not judging this man on what had happened. At the end of the day, we all are human and things happen and people go through things. Um, some people fall from grace. Um, um, I'm not sure what the Christian world would call this moment. Um, I don't want to judge and say that he's fallen from grace because I don't know the whole situation, why he did it the way that he did it. Close the doors, lock the doors, ushers close the doors and lock the doors and this and that and the demand of the offering, the demand of the offering. There's a way to do everything. There's a way to do everything. And the way that it was done, it it bothered me in the sense that there are a lot of people who need God, and there's a lot of people who don't know how to reach out to God, and that there are people who are working on those ones and showing them the way to God. And some of the resistance of them coming to God is because one of the areas that they feel is that all they want is my money. All they want is my money. So that helps their struggle getting to God and getting to Jesus to get in the presence of God and to walk the journey that they most likely are called to. And they say, I'm not going because all they want is my money. And it's really they should be going for Jesus, but some people are ran off when you start bringing up money. And so with that being said, I how it reached me was the people that are doing God's work, speaking life into people by the word of God, uh 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 helping to grow the church, bringing people to the feet of Jesus, bringing them into the house of God, increasing number. I feel like that was a blow to that side of the ministry, to that work for the kingdom. That was a blow for, like, this is how. What if what if that moment was the first time somebody watched a pastor, watched a sermon, or their first time at that church? After somebody has been working on this person for 2 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, and they finally get this person to come to church, and that was the moment that they caught. That was their first experience at church. That's the part that disappointed me about that situation with Marvin Sapp. Like I said, I'm not judging why he did it. I don't know why he did it. In my opinion, I feel like there was some fear in his personal life that caused him. Something is out of alignment. Something was is out of alignment where you do it that way. Fear, urgency of the flesh can get you in hot seats like this. People don't like what you have to say about them, but if the truth is the truth, this is how you showed up in my life. So I say what the truth is. And this is what the truth is. Don't get me wrong, I like Marvin Sapp's music. I think he's an awesome pastor preaching the word. But I think this moment was out of alignment. And there is a level of responsibility for men and women in leading positions. And Brother Pastor Marvin Sapp is in a leading position. To whom much is given, much is required. And when we forget what's required of us, when we agree to take the elected seat that God places us in, for the most part, we must die to flesh. And we have to be discerning at all times. You have to be discerning. Once again, I don't know what the situation was or is behind closed doors. Everybody has something. Let's not forget that this is a human man. He's human. People go through things, people have issues with things happen. But that was not a cool way to uh handle that situation. So that's kind of my view, and I don't like to go too deep on it because then then when you kind of lean in on it, then it becomes judgmental, it becomes gossip, and I'm already this is a podcast, goes along with bloggers and things like that. So I don't want to go in on a person because really, like I said, fifth charge is about um uh helping people to get, leading people to the word. It's like, even right now, speaking of this podcast, it's like right now, if I was on here talking crazy or foolish, um, uh, disregarding the word of God, disregarding um, how I maybe should carry myself. Once again, with being yourself, but understanding that there is an authority over your life. I don't get on here, not to say that, people who cusses it's a bad thing, but I know that that was a struggle for me. Once again, being from the city of Boston, Massachusetts, the city of Boston is, the culture is cussing. You know what I mean? That's it is. Um, but where I am now, as far as in my walk with God, I don't feel like cussing is something that I need. I don't need to speak that way going in the direction that I am going in, or that I feel as though God is pulling me towards. So I don't speak like that. It's not necessary. And when you feel that requirement, the requirement is given by God. You can't talk like that. You can't be out here rough with people. You can't egg on that kind of energy. You got to stay away from foolish talk and different things like that, gossip and all of this, craziness that goes on online, because this is listen, my views are very different from someone who speaks as the world, the carnal world speaks. But that's just something I have to deal with. And I have to remember that it's, at the end of the day, it's, we're on here, YouTube, trying to get, people want views and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, for people who God calls, it's about the message, and it's about a specific one or individual or group or network or nation. Just as people who have podcasts where they talk very hardcore. They have those that they are that are assigned to them, and that's just how it goes. But as for me and my house, as for me and my house, we shall, yeah, you got it, serve the Lord. Yeah, yeah, you got that right. Yeah. So I don't wanna lean stay on Marvin Sapp too long. I just, my only message to him is remember his number one song that we all know. Remember that you never would have made it. And whatever you're going through, my brother, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And you will make it through this as well. And I know you will. I will pray for you. I will keep a prayer up for you. The song has this, your music has blessed me, and that song specifically, that was the number one song. Um, there's other ones, Listen, and all of these other. He has great music, great music, you know, and great pastoring. This is just a moment, so let's keep our prayers up for him and his church. That's what we should do in this time. That's what I'll do, and I'm asking you to do the same. Let's not judge on everybody. Let's try that. Let's make that normal. Let's pray first before we even have a comment. When we hear about somebody falling from grace, and they don't have to be in the church realm, or they don't have to be walking with you. It could be a famous celebrity that you love. Let's normalize that when you hear something that is crazy about them. Let's normalize before you make a phone call, or before you take that first phone call to gossip and spread that message, whatever that is. Let's normalize praying first for the person before we get involved in the gossip. Because a lot of times, you're going to be pulled in. A lot of y'all got a lot of friends. I have some friends that they just pull you into to that kind of conversation sometimes, and it's a conversation, it is what it is. A lot of people didn't like Kendrick Lamar until somebody started talking about him, and then they went to go listen to the music, and they said, "Oh, he's good." Right? Yeah, you gotta take it, it works on both ends. Yeah. You know what I wanna do? I wanna do right now, speaking of praying, for people when you hear things, not only did I hear it, but I saw, scrolling online, because we all scroll, right? Scrolling online, and I seen that 7.7 earthquake. Um, the earthquake that just happened. I want to say, is it Thailand? Uh, yeah, that was terrible. Couldn't help but to have that feeling that, the building wasn't finished being built. It wasn't finished being built. Um, wasn't fully erected yet, but it was something about the way that building fell that took me back to 9/11, to see that time back in 2001. It was something about that. And immediately, even then, I started praying for the people that was involved in that situation, the people who have lost their lives and been injured, and for even the people who were up close and personal with that situation, and to watch something like that. The people from the highway, I seen it from that angle, and seen it, some of the video footage from the street. That's terrible. Anytime that you lose a lot of people, and a lot of people are hurt in a catastrophic moment like that, just pray for the area, pray for the time that they just experienced, because that's a lot of hurt on a group of on a big amount of people at one time. Earthquakes and different things like that. Pray for those people. Um, I did. I prayed for those human beings. That's what it's about. Fifth charge. You are charged to pray for people. It's very, 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 very important that we pray for people. I was today. it fell on me to um sometimes things happen, and like I said, it's about it's a different time for me growing in the spirit, and instead of second guessing things, um I feel compelled to do things as I feel them, and speak when it's time to speak, and no longer allow the enemy, the devil, to have strongholds over my tongue. And that's what I feel like with a lot of us. A lot of us are messed up because stuck in situations because our tongues have been compromised in a major way by the enemy. And it makes me believe that, what is it about you and your journey and your calling of life that makes the enemy want to keep you in this space of being mute, silenced? Why does the enemy want to silence you so bad? Why, whenever you're supposed to speak up, why do you fall back from speaking up? What is that gate? What is that gateway that the enemy enters that make you not speak when you're supposed to maybe speak up? Oh, that's my phone. What is that? What is that gateway? What is that brokenness? What broke you in your past? What is it that broke you in your past that what is it that broke you in your past that traumatized you to make you feel or to make you believe that you shouldn't speak up on topics, on situations, and even speak up for yourself? Whatever that space is, whatever that thing is, that's what you need to be working on right now. Sit down, figure it out, write it out, and figure out what that thing is. What area of your life are you broken in? And why can't you get past this in your life, this area, this cycle? Because whatever it is that traumatized you is chances are it's the same thing that has you silenced today. And today I'm screaming, no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper, because there is something that you are supposed to be doing in your life. There is something on you, something that is called on you, and it's being held up. It's being held up by you not speaking. Ask and you shall receive. And you're not strong enough to speak up and ask for what it is that you want. Yet and still, within your head, within your mind, within your heart, you're the only one that knows what it is that you want. And nobody else knows because something has you bound. And we got to break that. The best version of you shouldn't only live in your mind. A lot of us are great people, awesome people, giving people, generous people, loving people, building people, entrepreneurial people, happy people, but only in our own minds? Really? That's the only place in your existence that you are the best version of you? We got to get that out. And all of that best version of you needs a leader. The leader of the best version of you is your words. The best version of you is inside of you, but nobody else knows. So the enemy keeps your words tied up and bound, and you don't speak up nothing. You have to speak it out and speak out with confidence and boldness and expectation as if it already exists. Because really, it already does. Because you've been thinking about it. You've been seeing yourself like this. And the best form and the best version. You've been seeing yourself like this, but nobody else knows it. And it's time, 2025, to speak that version into existence, that awesome version of you into existence. It's no good just being on this inside of you. That's the devil's trick. That's what the devil is. He's good at giving you something to silence you and mute you, and then he leaves you alone. He don't have to stick around. He don't have to stick around with you to keep you quiet. He just gives you something so traumatic to keep you with your mouth shut. And that's scary. That is scary, guys. Today I was talking to a friend of mine today. I have great conversationalists that I have conversations with. Shout out to all my people who I get on the phone and we talk about God in different situations. Shout out to all my friends. Um, and today we was talking about uh, what is scary to some people. What's scary, like when you watch a horror movie, which I don't really watch horror movies, but I have seen horror movies, right? And there's always something in like a horror movie that's scary to me. Different things for different people, but it's to me it's demonic to me. But I've heard people say that they've had dreams like this, but it's in movies too. Um, I think in the Matrix, even though the Matrix wasn't a horror movie, but it happened in the Matrix, and it always kind of it's an eerie thing to see, and it creeps me out, and it's scary. And here's why it's scary to me. It's not so much the ghost and the goblins and the monsters and things like that. Your Freddy Kruegers and your Jasons and your Mike Myers and all that. It's not really. Let me tell you what it is. This is what's scary when I see it in a movie. And tell me if put it in a comment a movie that you might have seen this in, or if you know what I'm talking about. Put it in the comments. It is, and some scare you see it. It is when a person's mouth, like they have skin over their mouth, like their mouth doesn't exist, or you'll see in the movie a person's lips are sewn shut like thread, needle and thread sewn shut. That's the eeriest thing to ever see to me. It's just eerie. And I never knew why, because, I didn't start my journey with God until, of course, after Matrix, when Matrix first started coming out. But it was eerie to me then, and I've seen it in some other movies. It's always the eeriest things. It's like, ooh, it's like I almost need to turn my head away when I see it because it's like, ooh, that's kind of creepy to see. And I know now why it's not it unsettles me because that represents to me what the enemy does to a lot of people. A lot of people in your life get to have their way with you by your silence. Man, life is not going the way that you would like for it to go because you're not speaking up even for your own life. And why is that? What's wrong with you? What happened? And the saddest thing, if you know what happened and you're not doing anything about it, attacking it, confronting it, then the enemy is just getting his way with keeping your mouth shut about your own life. And the Bible says whatever is in a man's heart, it flows from his mouth. And if you know in your heart there's something about you that's greater than what you have experienced in this life so far, you know you're better than that relationship, that job, that situation, that circumstance. If you know this, Jesus, if you know this, then you have to speak up for it. You have to speak up for it. I watched a movie this weekend. What was the name of the movie? I'll be watching stuff and don't even paying attention, not even paying attention to the name. It was another movie I watched this weekend. Um, it's on Netflix. It's called It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us. I think it's on Netflix. I watched it on. Or was it Prime? Netflix. I think it's Netflix. It Ends With Us. Awesome movie. Awesome movie. I'm not going to spoil alert anything. I'm not going to spoil it. I would just suggest you to go and watch it and then come back to the comments and let me know what you think. But I will tell you this, it's about speaking up no matter what kind of situation or circumstance that you are in. It's about speaking up, you guys. Speaking up for the life that you want. Everything that you're going through right now, everything that you're going through right now that you don't like, I promise you, it's been going on like this for the time that it has because you haven't spoken up. You know what's crazy about situations like that? When you finally, especially if you're dealing with people, when you finally speak up, the person's, their energy is always like, oh, I didn't know that. Why didn't you say anything earlier? And they're right. Why are you enduring hardship, craziness, things that you don't like? Why are you enduring this if you don't like it for your life? No matter what the matter or situation is, why are you dealing with this? It's not what you want. Hey, life is not dress rehearsal. This is real. After your final breath, Hopefully, in the next 100 years, you don't get another life. This ain't video game. What are you waiting for to be happy in your life? Last I checked, this is a country you can say whatever you want. So if everything else gives you freedom to speak, then what is it that has you completely silenced about your life? Whatever that is, I promise you that today needs to be the day that you start working on that thing. Start figuring these things out. Start figuring these things out about your life. It's yours. And if it's about another person, they didn't come into the world at the same time that you did. You came by yourself. The only thing situations and other people can do for your life is help your life be even greater. No situation you should be settling for that's helping your life be hard. People who are born into poverty and struggle and that become successful financially, specifically, I'm speaking on right now, is because they said, I don't want my stomach to growl anymore. I don't want to live in a house with no lights. I don't want to live. No, it's about leveraging. That's what your mouth does for you. It should leverage you to do better. And also, with that being said, don't let the enemy make you think that the life that you have is this is all you're worth. So you start when you do speak, you start speaking negatively about your life. He's the author of lies, you guys. And all he will do is make you think that that what you don't like is what you deserve and this is all you should get. And I'm here to tell you that he's a liar. He's a liar. This is not for you. You are great. You are awesome. Made in his image. And he's powerful. He's strong. Speak. Speak. Open your mouth. And so I say that to say that some people don't know what they want. And so they accept whatever is given. But I advise you to get strong because at some point, as you heal, as you get older, people telling you who you are, even that gets exhausting. It becomes stressful on your spirit. Life is for the living, so start living. And start figuring out what it is you do like as well. Either way, speak up. Speak up for yourself in this season. People will treat you however they want to treat you, tell you who you are, as long as you're not speaking up for yourself. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to speak up. We're going to speak up. And I believe that for you, and I want that for you. I want that for you. I do. I truly do. I want that for you. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all I came on here to tell you guys. Those few things. And we're going to move on into the next episode. Once again, you guys, I really do thank you guys for tapping in with Fifth Charge, tapping in with me. I really appreciate you guys, every one of you, every view. We're building. Make sure you guys, speak to me in the comments. And also follow me on my social media, Shannyn Casino on Instagram. You also have Shannyn Casino on TikTok. And Fifth Charge Podcast on TikTok as well, and Fifth Charge Podcast on Instagram as well. I still have ShannonCasino.com. Make sure you guys check that out. I have a book out there called Sidewalk University for those who know, those who don't know, for the new people who are jumping on Sidewalk University. Make sure you guys check it out. It's about the first 25 years of my life. And how rocky it was, but read the story. Yeah. Until the next episode, you guys, thank you guys for tapping in to Fifth Charge. Until next week, until the next episode, go ahead and hashtag Team C Notes and stay connected with me. All right. I am your host, Shannyn Casino, SynCo. All right. See ya.